guys, welcome to the another videos of my YouTube channel Medico Soumitra. Okay, so let's move on to the topic. So today I am going to discuss about the blood coagulations. You can see, okay, blood coagulation and anticoagulant drugs classifications. Okay, so what is coagulation? So before coagulation, you should know why it's occurring, right? So suppose this is our tissue. Suppose this is our tissue, right? And this is epidermal layer of our tissue. So suppose in any case of any cut or any trauma, so what is happening? So we can see the cutting of the tissue, epidermal layer, right? So bleeding is taking place. Bleeding means the blood will be coming out from the tissue. So to prevent that bleeding or hemorrhagic condition, the some clotting factors are playing major roles. These are calling, this process is calling as a coagulations. Okay, so for the coagulations some blood clotting factors are there, certain blood clotting factors are there. So these are named as a clotting factor, blood clotting factor. Okay, so there are in our blood group there are 13 clotting factor. Blood clotting factors are factors present. Okay, present, right? So today, so I am going to discuss about why the coagulations it's mean how coagulation taking place or how coagulations occurring, right? So after bleeding, how it's happening? So there are certain way we are calling as two pathway are there, intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. Okay, so first we will move on to the intrinsic pathway. Okay, intrinsic pathway. Okay, so suppose any injury, so just be concentrated on the explanation. Okay, suppose any cut or injury. Okay, this is directly acting on the clotting factor called 12 factor. Okay, so that clotting factor, after the activations of the 12 clotting factor, it's able to produce the clotting factor 12a clotting factor, 12a clotting factor. So it is producing, it's produced. Okay, so by that time we can see also the activation of the another clotting factor named as 11. Okay, 11 clotting factor. So these are the roman number of the clotting factors. So we are writing it as a roman number. Okay, so this is 12 clotting factor and this is 11 clotting factor. So when the 12a clotting factor is producing, simultaneously we can see the production or activations of the 11 clotting factor. Okay, after the activations of the 11 clotting factor, we can see the with the help of 12a, with the help of produce 12a clotting factor, the 11a 11a clotting factor is producing 11a clotting factor. If you don't know the clotting factors name, so just do Google. Okay, otherwise I also know the clotting factors name, but it will be take two more long video. Okay, so that's why I am skipping. Okay, so I am explaining about the by that clotting factors name means the numbers. Okay, so that is the 12 clotting factor. After the production of the 12 clotting factor, we can see simultaneously the activations of the 11 clotting factor. Okay, so after the activation of the 11 clotting factor, we can see the 11a clotting factor producing with the help of 12A clotting factor. Okay, so when the 11A clotting factor is producing, that time we can see the activation of 9 clotting factor. Okay, so when that 11A clotting factor is producing, that time we can see the production of the or activation of the 9 clotting factor. Okay, so 9 clotting factor is able to produce 9A clotting factor. Okay, 9A clotting factor. Okay, so that 9A clotting factor is producing with the help of the clotting factor called 11A clotting factor. Okay, so we can see the 9A clotting factor is producing, right? So after that we can see the activation of 10 clotting factor. Okay, so like the same like the 10 clotting factor is also able to produce 10A clotting factor with the help of not only the 9A clotting factor, but the also help of 8 clotting factor. What is that? 8 clotting factor and calcium. Okay, so for your kind information, let me know you that calcium, not only calcium also a clotting factor. Just to google it, clotting factor. This is number 2 clotting factor. Okay, are you able to see? Yes, so that is number 2 clotting factor. So it is not only a electrolyte or mineral, or cation. Okay, it is also acting as a clotting factor. Okay, so with the help of 9A clotting factor, 8 clotting factor and calcium clotting factor, we can see the production of the 10A clotting factor. Okay, so intrinsic pathway, in intrinsic pathway we can see the production of the 10A clotting factor. Okay, so then we will see in extrinsic pathway. So in extrinsic pathway also we can see the production of the what, 10 clotting factor. Okay, so in extrinsic pathway what is happening, we can see while the any kinds of cutting or injury taking place, we can see the activations of 7 clotting factor. Okay, so that 7 clotting factor is able to produce 7A clotting factor. So that is produced, 7A clotting factor is produced. Okay, so simultaneously after the production of the 7A clotting factor, so that remember the pathway, so you can easily crack any kinds of drug, or you can easily remember how the clotting factor by their mechanism, how the coagulation is taking place or occurring. Okay, so after the production of the 7A clotting factor, we can see the activations of what, 9 clotting factor. Okay, so after the activations of the 9 clotting factor, it is producing what, 9A clotting factor. 9A clotting factor with the help of what, with the help of clotting factor of 7A clotting factor. With the help of 7A clotting factor, the 9 clotting factor is able to produce 9A clotting factor. Okay, so this is producing. So after the production of the 9A clotting factor, we can see the activations of 10 clotting factor, and that 10 clotting factor is able to produce 10A clotting factor with the help of that same, what are they, like 8 clotting factor and what, calcium 2 plus. Okay, so the 10 activated 10 clotting factor is able to produce 10A clotting factor with the help of clotting factor 8 and clotting factor 2. Okay, so here I have forgot one thing, that 9 clotting factor is able to produce 9A clotting factor with the help of 7F factor. Not only 7F factor, but also in the presence of 11A factor. What is that? 11A factor. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so also 11A factor. Okay, so we can see in both way we can see the production of the 10A factor. Okay, so we can see like combination of coagulation pathway okay, coagulation pathway. Okay, so what's happening here, just see. So after that we can see, so 10 to 10A factor is producing, okay, in both way, extrinsic pathway and intrinsic pathway, and extrinsic. Okay, okay, so after the production of the 10A we can see the prothrombin or the clotting factor 1, not 1, clotting factor 2, sorry, and calcium I have told the wrong thing, the calcium factor is number 4 clotting factor. Okay, so prothrombin is 2. Okay, so that after the activations of, or after the production of 10A clotting factor, we can see the prothrombin is converted into thrombin. Okay, thrombin with the help of 10A factor. So after the production of the 10A factor, we can see the second clotting factor prothrombin is converted into thrombin. Okay, and this is after the producing this thrombin, we can see the first clotting factor fibrinogen. So fibrinogen, you will see fibrinogen. Okay, so fibrinogen is converted into fibrin. Okay, with the help of thrombin. Okay, with the help of thrombin. Is it clear? Okay, so with the help of thrombin. So fibrin, after the formation of the fibrin, we can see the bleeding will be stopped. Okay, mean that it is the form of the coagulation. It is the form of the coagulation form. Okay, so after the conversion of the prothrombin to thrombin with the help of the 10A factor, we can see the fibrinogen is the clotting factor 1 is converted to fibrin with the help of thrombin. Okay, so that fibrin is the form of the coagulation form. So then we can see the stoppage of the bleeding. Okay, so the two pathway you should remember. Okay, the first one is the intrinsic pathway and the second one is the extrinsic pathway. Okay, so in both way we can see the production of the 10A factor. After the production of the 10A factor, we can see the conversion of the prothrombin to thrombin with the help of the 10A factor, and we can also see the fibrinogen or the clotting factor 1 is converted into the fibrin with the help of the with the help of the thrombin, and we can see the coagulation form is formed. Okay, so let's move on to the classification of the anticoagulants. So in next video we will detailedly discuss about the classifications. Okay, so in this video I will tell you only about the classifications and how after giving the anticoagulant drug we can prevent the coagulation. Okay, so see, anticoagulants classification of anticoagulants. Okay, so it's a two types, like first one is oral and the second one is injected. Okay, so in oral we can see the example like warfarin. In next video I will discuss about the warfarin. And injected have two type. What are they? So in injected anticoagulant drugs have two types, like direct acting. What is that? Direct acting. And the second one is the antithrombin 3 dependent. Okay, so in direct acting there is a certain example like lepirudin. What is that? Lepirudin. And in antithrombin 3 dependent anticoagulants it's two types. What are they? First one is heparin. Okay, heparin. And the second one is the low molecular weight heparin. So see, direct acting is lepirudin and the oral is warfarin. Okay, so antithrombin 3 dependent it's have two types, like heparin and low molecular weight heparin. Okay, so let's move on to the heparin. I won't tell today in this video the about full discussing about the heparin. Okay, so I will little bit lightly discuss about the heparin. Okay, so after the giving this, so what is that? It is comes under the antithrombin 3 dependent, right? So means after this heparin, after giving this heparin, we can see the blockage of the thrombin formation, right? Because it is comes under the classification of the antithrombin 3 dependent, right? So antithrombin, by that name only we are able to understand that we can block the thrombin formation, right? So see, if the thrombin will not be formed, right? So if we'll give the antithrombin 3 dependent in that heparin, if we'll give, so what will happen? We can see the not production of thrombin. Okay, we cannot see the formation of thrombin, right? So if the thrombin won't be formation, if the thrombin won't be formed, so what will happen? We can also see the fibrinogen, right? So we cannot see the fibrinogen, or the first clotting factor is not able to produce the fibrin, because the thrombin won't be present there, right? So thrombin won't be present there because thrombin is not producing due to the due to the what is that drug, heparin, due to the heparin, right? So after giving the heparin, we cannot see the formation of the thrombin, so that we cannot see the formation of the fibrin. So the coagulation form of the coagulation process, we cannot see to form, right? So if the fibrin won't be formed, what will happen? We cannot see the coagulation, or the bleeding won't be stopped, right? Am I right? So if the fibrin won't be formed, what will happen? The bleeding won't be stopped, right? So the coagulation won't takes place. So that's why it's named as a, what is it's named as a anti thrombin 3 dependent. Okay, so I think you have understand. If you don't understand, if you are not able to understand, or if you having any kinds of doubt about the topic, okay, or any information, so just do comments on the comment box. Okay, I think you all have understood. Okay, so in next videos I will upload about the what, about the warfarin and lepirudin and low molecular weight of heparin. Okay, up to that time, just taking care of yourself, just take care of yourself. And if you like the videos, do likes, and do shares, and do subscribe, and stay safe, stay happy. Thank you.